Okay, he is committed. What? No! Oh! Go on, Mako! Oh, wow. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to The Legend of Korra, episode 12. We are finally at the season 1 final, and I'm very looking forward to it. This show has been very good so far, and in comparison with The Last Airbender, I think it's done very well. Considering that the two are very different, I have to remember that Avatar had 3 seasons where they knew exactly what they were going to do, and they knew they were going to get those seasons. From what I understand, during production, Korra never knew how many seasons it was going to get, so I think just seeing this season, they've done a good job at making a good story that feels very impactful to the world of Avatar in a very condensed way, compared to the length of time Aang's story got. I mean, this introduced us to an entire new city, 100 years after what we know from Aang, and I was able to expand on a lot of the bending and a lot of the stuff that we knew, while also building up Korra's story and her place as the new Avatar in this new world. Now, going into this, there are definitely a few things that I wanted to check off my list, like the airbending in the Avatar state. None of that's happened yet, and I feel like this will be a good time to do it. Plus, of course, we're dealing with Aang, and I'm so glad that they have learnt, I guess, his weakness at this point, that he is a bloodbender. They know all of this now, and all they have to do is expose him in front of all his followers, and he comes crashing down. So it's a good way to just show, to have Korra have something other than just jumping in headfirst fighting. She can now combat the idea that Aang represents. Also, I will say the little naive part of me is hoping that there is some way they can undo the sort of the blocked bending, maybe blocked, maybe taken away, because Lin still has hers lost, and we haven't seen anything from that yet. So I'm hoping that maybe they can undo it, maybe. Of course, still got Tenzin out there, we've still got the main guys that haven't had their bending taken away, so there's still a lot of risk up in the air, and I'm just, the little part of me is hopeful that it isn't permanent. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there, I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. It's still so awesome and horrifying that they have planes now. I mean, why couldn't that be developed for the good side?
I need you to tear up those runways. We can't let those aircraft take off.
Good plan. Still weird hearing Zuko.
Alright, you guys wait here until we get back, okay?
Aw, they want to come.
Stay.
They're helpful, they can do stuff.
Why would there be fence posts but no fence?
Wait. Right, so you asked the question yet you walk straight into it. I mean, I get, fine, granted they don't understand what's happening, it's getting very advanced, but still. They can see it's fence posts without a fence. Immediate suspicion. Oh wow, he's really taken over the entire arena. It's such a good villain that when he appears, people cheer for him.
When I was a boy, a firebender struck down my entire family.
Back to that, okay, because it's a lie.
To equalize the world.
See, it's that lie.
That's a lie, Aang.
What they got to do is reveal the mask, and then you'll see there's no scar.
Noah talk.
Okay, he's not flinched. It's just, it's weird.
We have nothing to fear from the Avatar. Let's hear what she has to say.
Letting her do it.
Aang is a waterbender.
What is this nonsense?
Oh, even they don't know.
Making up stories about me is a pathetic last resort.
Reveal your face.
His father was Yakone, and his brother is Councilman Tarlock.
Oh, there's so much focus on Mustache Man. He's going to turn innie.
But I will show you the truth.
Did he scar himself? What? Okay, this is a different... Okay, never mind. He can't... Okay, revealing face. Okay, he is committed.
Is what a firebender did to me.
What?
Tarlock lying? Maybe no. How can you? Okay, you got to make him bend water.
Didn't work.
We said what we had to. Let's get out of here.
Beat him in a fight and make him fear for his life. Then he'll bloodbend.
I wouldn't leave yet, Avatar. You'll miss the main event.
Still kept the mask on. How? No! And the children.
Oh, they got away.
How did they capture them? They escaped.
Asami, I know I have hurt you, and I am sorry.
Oh, can it?
But I believe that one day you will come to your senses, and we can be a family.
Can he be electrocuted in this?
Mom would hate you for what you've become.
Oof.
How dare you!
Okay, she knows exactly how to hit the nerves.
The airplanes are ready for takeoff, sir.
Annihilate the fleet.
What?
I intercepted your message to Commander Boomy. I know exactly where they're hiding.
Okay, this guy is brilliant villain. Great. So you got Aang, who's basically, I guess, the muscle and the mastermind, but you also have the intelligence of this dude. Yes! Oh, I was just thinking they were outside. Come save the day. Gotta remember, this thing's part polar bear, so this thing is just gonna... Yep, it's just rubble to it.
We got Naga! Yeah!
And the planes are taking off.
Going after those airplanes.
No! No Naga!
Is she gonna ride one of those things? Oh, this is gonna be so awesome. Use the tanks against them.
What do you know? Just like a future industries forklift.
She knows exactly how to use it because her father made it. This is perfect. Will she know how to do the planes as well, since Future Industries made that too? Or at least maybe you can use the plane. Use the plane. Yes, okay, they have their weapons. Good. Please be a fast learner. Okay, go with it, go with it.
Tonight, I rid the world of airbending forever.
Don't.
You're welcome to come down here and try to stop me.
Trying to bait you.
I don't care.
Oh, she's gonna go for it.
The Avatar needs to be reminded of the power I possess.
Come on, do something. You can do... Lightning? And he's fine. Okay, baited into it. Now you're still versus all of these guys. Try and take out all of them, then it's just Amar, and then he has to resort to his bloodbending.
Where are Pema and the baby?
In prison.
Beifong?
I don't know.
Okay, so they... Okay, so... Oh dear. Because we still don't know if the baby is an airbender or not. That could be something if these lot lose their bending. And the Emperor is insane. You got him. You hit him. You actually landed a hit on this guy.
Let's go get your mother and the baby.
Go. Feeling hopeful. If things are going well. He's not giving up. But now that he's alone, he might be more willing to reveal his power. That wouldn't be good. You need him to do it in front of people. He doesn't need to sense them, they're just making it obvious. Because I'm trying to think, yeah, Tarlok was definitely telling the truth because he was able to resist the bloodbending. So what? How did he get the scar? Did he do it to himself? Did he get a firebender to do it to him so he could do this? He can sense you with his bloodbending. He can sense your blood. He's letting you go. Only for surprise. Yeah, there we go. Full on reveal. Great. But he's powerful though. He can take on both of you. There we go. Now what? You need the mustache man. Mustache man needs to show up. Come on, have someone show up. That's the only way he can get out of this.
No!
What? What? No! What? Huh?
I told you I would destroy you.
What? Is that... What does that mean? Can he actually take away avatar bending? Blood bending works when, like, someone... If you can resist it, you're more powerful. Okay, how can he be more powerful than the avatar? And how did she not trigger the avatar state from that? It's like mortal danger. They have... Oh, great. They have to... Okay, they really have thought of everything. They know how to take out their own airships. And now you're just plummeting to your death. Great. Now what? Azula! Oh, okay. He has that sort of thing. Good that that's still around and that he didn't just outlaw Azula's style with her. Okay, this is insane. And of course they have parachutes, but you gotta remember... Don't hit the... Okay, they are literally prepared for everything. Abandon ship. Use fire. Abandon ship! Okay, that works too. Do not crash into Aang's statue, though. Don't break his statue! This better be sturdy. Only destroy the mask. Excellent. Okay, super sturdy statue.
Thanks for looking out for me, Aang.
Ah, because yes, related. All of that is relation. Oh yeah, these are bad guys. Oh! Electrocution! They wouldn't hurt the dog. They wouldn't hurt the dog, right? Okay, this dog is insanely powerful. How come you haven't been using it this entire time? Oh, she's destroying everything.
What do you think you're doing? You are aiding the very people who took your...
Father versus daughter. This is going to be insane.
Feel love for mom anymore. You're too full of hatred.
Ooh, that is good. He has no love left. It's everything about him is devoted to the hatred for benders. All his love for the mum is gone. It's just consumed by revenge. That kind of proves it, that he's willing to attack his own daughter. The one person that could remind him of his wife.
I now see there is no chance to save you.
And he's willing to kill her! Okay, this dude is so far gone.
Mr. Sato, you are a horrible father!
Yes, he is. You tell him. Okay, taken down. At least that's one half of the bad lot done. You still have love left. You're not going to do it. That's the difference. What? No! Just don't keep trying.
You really are a horrible father.
Oh, and don't let him get away? Good. Okay. Well, that's not your father anymore. That's a shell of what he was. He's just consumed by hatred. There's nothing left.
You are powerless.
Really? I need proof. It can't be. It can't be true. You're just not trying hard enough. You still got it.
Everything the Avatar said is true.
Mustache man.
I just saw you, Bloodbender.
Now what? Now what? Now what are you gonna do?
You traitor!
Okay, but it's only one of you. And he can just take that down. Okay, you needed to tell people. You saw him bloodbend and you thought you could attack him? Really? Wait, no, is he killing him? No, he's fine. He'll live. You can walk that off. No, don't. Just stop now. You got the big one. Leave him alone. Oh! Go on, Mako! How did you do that? Like, no build-up, whatever. Like, how, what? That was so close. So lightning bending has come so far since the whole having to move and do the arcs and the movements and such.
Mako, my bending.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. You're fine. You're fine. I'm in complete denial. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. How far away is he? How can he do this? Great. Can you do the lightning again?
I'm impressed. No one has ever gotten the better of me like that.
Dear, you're good.
It's almost a shame to take the bending of someone so talented. Almost.
I gotta remember Tenzin's still around, maybe? Don't, no! No! Air! Okay, what? Okay, so, okay.
Possible.
I can airbend?
She's free from all the other bending. She can, is that how it did it? Very violent air bending. It's punching the air, okay. Oh, come on, still that. Okay, now would be a good time for the Avatar state. That would do it.
No, you don't.
Oh! Okay.
Did you see what happened?
What now? Alive in the water. It didn't defeat the idea though. That wasn't great. That's still a lot of division. It's fake. It's paint. Oh! And he feared for his life and it's all over. You defeated the idea.
He's water.
And he's incredibly powerful with that.
I was telling the truth!
And you've been destroyed completely. Oh yeah, he's not. Is he gonna run or is he gonna attack? Oh, he's gonna run. He is incredibly powerful. But now what? The whole city is still without its bending. You seem to only have air bending. Still no Avatar state. Wait,
It's over, brother.
you came to get him?
I'm sorry for what I had to do to you.
Our father set us on this path. Fate caused us to collide.
So you did actually take his bending.
We have a second chance. We can start over together. Please, you're all I have left in the world.
What's for this whole sympathy arc? Okay, and you're all fine, you're all good, great.
I can't believe Amon got you too.
Hey, at least you unlocked your airbending.
It's not, no, it's not time. I mean, is it because she became free from just being dependent on all the other bending? She literally has to use airbending? That could be something. Because airbending comes from freedom and that sort of thing. But in that moment, she didn't really feel that free. Only free from the other bending forms.
Yay! Uncle Boomy's here!
Oh, we get to actually meet another Aang child. Okay, he's fun.
Now I have to entertain my brother.
Okay, it seems kind of crazy. So immediately from that, I can definitely see why he was named Boomy.
The two of us together again. There's nothing we can't do. I'd almost forgotten the sound of my own.
You switched up real fast, so now you want to be friends with him and you've given up everything about your cause and equalists? What are you doing? You gonna turn on him?
It will be just like the good old days.
What is happening? Oh, wow. So they're dead. That's... Ooh. Tarlok has had an incredible journey in this. Are they find what's happened? Are they found out what just happened? Would people know about that? It was in the middle of the ocean. Katara.
I've tried everything in my power. I cannot restore Korra's bend.
Great, so that is gone. I mean, at least she has one bit left, but...
You have to keep trying.
I'm sorry, there's nothing else
It's not a healing thing.
But her connection to the other elements has been severed.
Connection severed. Reminds me of the chakra stuff. Like when Aang couldn't connect to the Avatar state until he did stuff. Is that how it's working? Did Aman sever everyone's connection with certain chakras so they couldn't bend that element? Does she need to then get in line with that sort of stuff? That could lead into Avatar state, maybe? So if anything, this makes her further away from the Avatar state, which is an interesting direction to go down. The episode hasn't ended yet, but I'm almost kind of like the fact that they haven't done airbending and Avatar state in one final. There's still something for them to build on.
Back to Republic City. Get on with your life.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
I'm not the Avatar anymore.
Yes, you are!
When Tarlok took you, I was losing my mind at the thought of never seeing you.
Just kiss already.
I realized I love you, Korra.
Really?
I can't.
Korra!
Really? You're turning that down? Why must you drag this on? Just get together.
We need to be patient with her. It will take time for her to accept what has happened.
I mean, she's still the Avatar. I mean, if she dies, she still technically gets rebirth, so it's not like it's gone. What she needs to do is connect with the Avatar state, because then I'm sure that could probably do something about it. I feel like that could reverse certain things. I do like how somber this all feels. The music's beautiful. Like, does she also think that she failed in stopping Aman because she got away? Did they not know that he's dead right now? Like, I can see how that would add into it all.
Tenzin, I just want to be left alone.
But you called me here.
Aang! Oh, that's so cool how that was gonna be... Okay.
You have finally connected with your spiritual self.
Yay!
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
Really? Oh, all of them! Huh? What are you doing? You fixing it? Can you do that? You touched the forehead. I would assume fixing it. And glowing. Okay. So that's how you unlock Avatar state? And it's all come right back. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is incredibly powerful. Wow. Shame you can't use this on Aman though. So you just have this now. Okay, now, can you just get it over with? Get together, please. At least Asami's not around.
I love you too.
Okay, finally. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Oh, are you restoring everyone? Okay, yeah, they can do it! Is this what you're doing? Don't give me false hope. Is that... Come on, be quick, do something. And it's back. Okay, so nothing's permanent. You can fix everyone. You're gonna be very busy soon, aren't you? Because did Aman really take out the entire city's bending?
Thank you.
Okay, she's back. Great.
I am so proud of you, Avatar Korra.
Aww. Okay, this was a very nice ending. We'll say a little surprised how they did the end, because reaching your lowest point. So I think I would have preferred for the Avatar state to come in the heat of battle, but I did not expect it to come at like the lowest point sort of thing. We've always seen it when Aang truly needs it the most, when he's like nearly dying, and that's when it's shown up. But here it comes when she's reached the very limit of what she can do, and now it's been given back. I feel like it could have been interesting if it did get blocked, like with Aang, like in season 3, he couldn't use it. And it has, technically it's been blocked for the entire season. So yeah, glad it's back. Do like the ending. But I kind of wish the Avatar state had as much build-up and impact as airbending, because that was awesome when that showed up. Avatar state, I think I just wish it was used against Aman, that's it. But now I guess it can be used in all the other seasons, so I'm happy. Okay, this final I think was very good. I think just in general, it would be very difficult to do sort of everything they were trying to do, but I think it did it well. Because this whole story is basically trying to condense what Avatar did, and like Aang's story, with being the Avatar with the entire world into 12 episodes. Aang's lot didn't have like 12 episodes per season. They had a whole lot, they had like double that. So it's impressive that they were able to make a good story that feels as big as Aang's, maybe a little bit smaller because this was very much condensed into the city, but still feels to have the same gravity to it. While also thinking about Korra giving her a journey and having that be a satisfying ending. I think for me, I loved how she got her air bending and how it only came when she could not rely on her other bending anymore. Because that was kind of her problem. Whenever things got difficult, she would just rely on the things that came easiest to her other bending. She wouldn't rely on airbending, and that sort of blocks it. So when she was actually free from having to rely on it all, she then was able to do it. And I think for me, the Avatar state, I think right now I'm going to have to think about it because it feels a little bit anticlimactic. The fact that it didn't, I wish we got to see that fight Aman. That's, I think, my only thing that's kind of bugging me a little bit. Other than that, love that she's got in it. And I love that sort of Aang gives it to her. It's quite weird how that is working. Like Aang, basically, well, the first time we used it, we saw him basically near die. And technically that probably would be the same, wouldn't it? He would reach his lowest point. He ran away from home, stuck in a storm. So it's kind of a combination between him actually super needing it to stay alive and being at his lowest point. Here, they've only used the lowest point. She would have been fine just standing on the edge of the ice there. But I do love how it brings it back, showing all the avatars from the past, Aang kind of unlocking it for her, allowing her to use it, and then just the display of pure power. And I hope this means Aang shows up more now. I want him to be like Roku and Kyoshi. Even them two. Bring all of them back and just have them be Korra's guides. Because now I feel like with them there, she can have a whole lot easier time with the spiritual stuff. That's how she gets into it. And I think that's how every avatar kind of should be. They should be guided by their previous incarnation. So I'm really hoping now that Aang is here, he can do more. And I love how they sort of brought him into it, where you think it's Tenzin coming to comfort her, and then it just pans up and you see Aang. But yeah, Aman, he went out incredibly well. Such a good villain. And I love how they did bring him down. It balances well between Korra being very much wanting to jump into fights and Aman being very much the mastermind of everything. He was able to control the lie, or what he said was a lie. He was able to control the truth pretty well, which is insane to think about. Even having the scar ready to sort of back up his claims. Good thing he didn't use waterproof paint though, so that could have made things go south. They're just trying to think of how they actually took him down. They tried to do the plan way and try and expose him through what they knew, but then it was a combination of both that and trying to beat him up, basically, and trying to beat him in a fight. And that's what did it, because he had to be beaten basically within an inch of his life, where he was nearly drowning in the water, so he had to waterbend out of it. That's how you had to beat him. So I do like there's a combination of both. Maybe they could have put a bit more emphasis on defeating him with the idea and defeating the like non-bender versus bender issues. That could have been fun seeing an intellectual battle. Maybe like Tenzin could have helped there. But I think they did do a good job at balancing it out. Because you've got to think of like Korra. That is always going to stay, I think. Her sort of personality is rush into battle, beat people up. Does have plans, but her first instinct will be to try and beat them into confession. That's basically what this was. But then, gotta give it to Mako with that lightning bending. That was insane, and I love the shot, just seeing it all. It was done so well and like so tense at that moment. It's him, Korra, and Tenzin who is kind of the only people that have gotten a hit on Aman. Tenzin was able to push him back. Korra was the one that basically defeated him in the actual ending, but both of them used airbending. That kind of has its advantages because he can't fight that a lot. Mako actually used lightning bending, something that Aman would have gone up against quite a bit. That's insane that he was able to pull that off. So I do like what this did for him. But yeah, Tarlok, wow. So they are both dead. Tarlok, that ending is really powerful, that Tarlok kind of offed both of them. I don't see how they could survive that. I'd be surprised if they come back. Like, it almost makes me wonder, did Aman, I can't remember his actual name, but like, did Aman know that was going to happen? Because he had tears in his eyes. That could have been happy tears about being reunited with his brother, or sad tears because he failed his mission, or sad tears that he knew that death was coming and it kind of imminent. I think he knew it was coming because the only person that could have told Korra was Tarlok, so he knew that his brother was going to betray him. But it's just so powerful that he let him do it, and that's how they end this story. Because it's also, the heroes don't even know that that's happened. For all they know, Tarlok and Aman got away, and they're just somewhere out there plotting to when to strike again. They don't know that they've just gone poof. So I can imagine that haunting them a little bit and being on edge, wondering when they could show up, because they do have the power to take away bending. But now, of course, Korra can undo it, so that's good. I think the scene was just done incredibly well, and it does almost make Tarlok a hero. It makes him what he's always wanted to be. He's undone what his father did, actually destroying these bloodbenders and the last one. And honestly, I feel like if people knew, he would have a good name for himself now. So I really love his story and how what he is sort of become through this. To me, he's a hero at the end of this. Yes, he did some awful things because he was going a little crazy with power, but when it came down to it, he took out Amon, and he put an end to all of it, including himself. He definitely has... If they knew about it, that would have destroyed Hakon's memory. Tarlok would have been known better. But yeah, then the actual ending, Korra can restore bending, so she's going to be very busy trying to restore it to the entire city now. It makes me wonder what that power, is, though. Can they, give bending to, non-benders? That would be kind of fun. Doubt it, because it's, what you're born with, chakra sort of thing. It's good that she has it. It means there's no permanent consequences, so she can give everyone back who lost their bending. And we, of course, got to see Lin do it again, so cannot wait to see more fight scenes with her and just using her metal bending, because those are absolutely insane, and I'm so glad that they're not gone forever. I should have known, as soon as they take the bending away from one important character, it's going to come back. So happy that it is. I don't think it diminishes it. You could say that it's just, lack of consequences, but I think the way they did it, it was still powerful that they did actually take away the bending. Even with Korra, losing all of her bending and only having air bending, that I think was still powerful. Yes, I think it could have gone on a little longer, but if with Amon gone, what can you do? Just bring it back. But yeah, I can't wait to see, because this does feel like a good ending, honestly, in terms of the entire show. I can see they've done a good job at basically saying, if this was the only season, this is where it ends. And I think that's pretty good. Korra becomes the Avatar, she's gone through her journey, she's gotten some development here, and it's built up the world to what it is. This is a great ending for a show, but also it sets up a lot where you'd want to see more. Avatar Korra actually being on the same sort of level as Aang, being able to use all the elements, having the Avatar state, now she has that. And I love that it's sort of, you could end it here, and I'm glad that it doesn't, because now I want to see what Korra does with the Avatar state. What else can be brought in? What other villain will there be for the next season? This ending was so good at just concluding the story, but also leaving it off so that you can do more. And I think it just sets it up in a very good way. To begin, I think this episode was very good. I think it did bring a really good conclusion to the story of season 1. And just looking at Korra's journey, I really enjoyed what she went through. I will say she didn't transform drastically, but I do like how she got new things and how she got new abilities and things to do. She still feels like the same character that we met in the first episode to now. Just comparing it to Aang, he went from a scared child to a mature child who was facing the Fire Lord. He went on a very big journey, and you wouldn't say that Aang from the final of season 3 of Avatar was the same as season 1. Korra, basically, I would say that she is the same character, but she has grown more. I wouldn't say a lot more. She's mainly become maybe a bit patient. I still think she doesn't have a lot of patience. That's kind of just her thing now. She isn't very patient. She jumps into fights head first, but I like how they basically used these points of development to get her bending and the Avatar state. Because the whole impatience thing and the jumping into fights, that's kind of core character qualities for her. It's the same as Aang being childish. If you got rid of that and have him grow up to be not childish, it's not really development. It removes who Aang is. So to remove the impatience from Korra at this point, I feel like would be removing a part of who she is. I think it's better that she learns when to be patient and when to sort of jump into fights. And I think that she did do that here. She was patient when she had to form a plan against Amon, kind of, because of course Mako was the one, oh no, there were others there that told her to go with another plan. And yes, they only did it because Tarlok gave them information, otherwise she would have jumped head first, but at least it's something. I feel like that's something that can definitely develop more, where she can learn when to be patient and when to jump head first, but right now it's the starting point. So something that she can still grow on throughout the show. But yeah, looking at the air bending, it's very interesting how they actually unlocked it for her. All the other bending had to be removed from her so that she could do this. The show's been building up to this idea where she can only airbend if she truly feels free. Her entire life she's sort of been locked up. She was locked up in the South Pole under the White Lotus. She was locked up on the Air Nation thing. She was locked into positions during the Republic City stuff, given all this responsibility, not knowing what to do. She never really had a free choice for herself. Here, I think it kind of does it. Her bending was gone. She could have chosen to give up. She could have chosen to not fight. She could have chosen to just give in. She was powerless then. But she chose to keep fighting. That was her choice to do. She was free to make that choice. She could have just stopped. Amon wouldn't have killed her. He would have made an example out of her just from the lack of bending. But she chose to carry on. And I think that choice that she had freely is what allowed her to airbend. And it's interesting that she does airbend in such a violent way. She's basically punching the air and forcing the air to an opponent. That's not anything we've really seen before. It's very much Korra's own style of bending. It feels like it has come about through a violent means rather than sitting quietly and developing it like any other airbending we've seen. So I do like how that was used to defeat Aman, because I guess it was hinted at in the other episodes where Milo was able to defeat the Equalists by doing creative airbending with stuff that they haven't seen before, and Korra continues that. They would have no defense against Korra's style of airbending because it didn't exist before and it's completely new to them, so they would have no chance about going against her. Aman has no defense for it. Then looking more closely at the Avatar state, I am liking that more and more. I think for me, I would have loved to see that go against Aman, but then it would have been a very easy fight. So I do like that they took a step back and they kept the spiritual aspects of everything quiet and peaceful and spiritual. It didn't come back. It didn't arrive in combat. It arrived when she's thinking of herself and going through the motions, which is the spiritual side of things. Because Aang, I would say, is still, he got his sort of avatar unlocking thing through an emotional moment as well when he dove into the sea and became the iceberg stuff. So I do like that it was kept quiet and sort of intimate, I guess. She did it alone and she was able to reach the spirits, and then Aang unlocked it for her, I think. So it's interesting that Aang unlocked it for her and she didn't unlock it herself, but it does give Aang something to do, I guess. Yeah, this does make me very excited for just her journey continuing from here, because now she has even more power than she did have. She's got airbending and now she's got the Avatar state. It'll be very interesting to see what she does with it, because Aang, he would basically use it when he was really riled up or his life was in danger. Korra, I feel like gets riled up a lot. I'd assume she's going to get baited a lot with whatever opponent comes at her, and it could mean that she ends up triggering the Avatar state more than Aang did. So that seems like an interesting thing for me to follow. Like, Aang had to learn to control the Avatar state in just bringing it about. I feel like Korra might be the opposite. She's going to have to learn to control the Avatar state by not bringing it on. I feel like she's going to be able to snap into it very quickly by just how annoyed she gets at the people she's fighting. So that seems very fun for me. And then Aman, he was a spectacular villain. I love how this show did defeat him. It was a balance between Korra and her needing to fight while also having a way to defeat the idea. Because if you just take down Aman, he's going to still have all his supporters. We saw that with when she chucked him out the window. Everyone thought he was down and defeated, and yet they still blamed the Avatar. You could defeat the man, but you could not defeat the idea. Only till he rose out of the water, revealing that the scar was a fake and that he was a waterbender, did they turn on him. The idea was destroyed. And they used the information they gathered from Tarlok to push him into that position where he had to waterbend, otherwise he died. He's been such an incredible villain for this show in just challenging the Avatar in everything she sort of stood for. Like being this unifying force for all the bending in the world. That in itself is excluding non-benders. So I love that this guy did challenge that idea. Technically, yes, he wasn't a non-bender, but it did bring it into the conversation. It did highlight this inequality that's in the city, and that is something I will say that they didn't touch on. Is this going to change the city in any way? Will we see new things start happening? Will non-benders have a better place in the city? Will their lives be better? Because that's still a thing that's happening. The council are all benders. You have positions in the city which only benders can be a part of. Like, is this going to result in any change now that the movement is proven to be a lie and evil? Or are people just going to go back to how they were? But other than that, Aman was a great job. I loved how he highlighted Korra's faults, how she would rush into things, and he completely used it against her. And he was just perfect for season 1. I cannot wait to see what villain will be coming out next when Korra now has airbending and the Avatar state. Aman basically works because she didn't have the Avatar state. Bloodbending. Who else can they bring in that could challenge Korra now? It would have to be someone like Ozai level. And if that happens, will they be more of an intellectual or more of a Ozai type person where they want to fight and destroy everything? Then looking at Mako, we finally have the relationship thing done with. So they're together. They're in love, apparently. I guess they have been around each other for months, I guess. So it's not too far-fetched that they could fall in love. But I'm just thinking of Asami, because that just feels cruel. He hasn't even broken up with her officially, and yet he's already saying he loves another woman. I mean, that's just break it up with Asami first. But yeah, I loved the part that he got to play in this. He finally does feel more important than he has felt for a while. Because I will say, him and Bolin, they're like my little nitpicks for this season. Their relation to the main plot wasn't that big. Their main connection to it was just that Aman destroyed their home, the pro-bending thing, and sort of their career. Yes, that is big, but there was enough emphasis on it to show that they wanted to take him down for that. It showed far more focus with Asami and her father, Korra with everything she's going through, and how Aman wants her bending gone for his mission. Definitely think Mako and Bolin could have used a bit more just to reinforce the fact that they are here for certain reasons. But I do like that Mako, at least, was brought more into the final and given something very good to do, where he was one of the people that landed a good blow against Amon. And I feel like kind of the only one, because Tenzin and Korra both use airbending, which is something that's difficult to defend against when there's so limited amount of people that use it. So to actually land a hit with lightning bending, very impressive. Tarlok, I love this guy now. Well, not love, because he still did some awful things, but he is a brilliant character, and just how complex and deep this guy was. Going from a slimy politician to going to full-on crazy dictator tyrant where he was setting up divide within the city and fully segregating people, having that revealed to be his savior complex at wanting to make a better name for himself. And at that point, I think he kind of gave up with it being everyone and just wanted to see better for benders. He was on board with just giving them a better life and just caring about what they thought of him. And it just showed that he was already completely under the control of his father's image and that he was not a free person. A lot of this was to do with freedom. That was the main sort of driving force behind this entire story. And I love that Tarlok also plays a part in all of this and how his freedom from his father was a big thing for him. And like the ending where he does off himself and Amon, that's kind of another symbolic way of showing freedom throughout this story. That is him setting himself free from the legacy of his father, setting Amon free from that as well, but also is freeing the city and everyone of the bloodbending and all of this stuff. Don't know if they had families or children. That could be something. Maybe there's more bloodbenders out there. That's yet to be seen. But at least in this action, he has set so much free. He has set himself and his brother free, and he has set the city free. And I do think if people did know what he did here, he would have looked better in history than what he currently did. And I think that would have been enough to combat his father's image. He would have been able to stand on his own. And again, that's another form of freedom where he did overcome what his father thought of him, even in life and in death. Now, he still did some horrible things though, so definitely not fully loving him. He's still he went crazy, so that wasn't good. But yeah, he was a good character. Then Asami and Hiroshi. Love what they did with that. The line that stuck with me is that Asami basically says that Hiroshi has no love left for her mother. All the love that he has is gone and it's just been consumed by hatred. That's all that's left in him, and it paints such a good picture of what is going on with him. He's not wanting to avenge the wife. He's not wanting to... wants to take revenge. There's not like a good motivation. It's just pure hatred that he feels now. Like to picture that this guy who once loved his wife and his family had that taken from him and he doesn't care for the wife anymore. He cares about what that represents to him. He's not thinking about what his wife would want him to do. He's thinking about what he wants, and the image that stays in his mind is not his wife alive, caring for their daughter and all of this and just being his wife and being a person. It's the fact that she was taken from him. That's all he thinks about now when he thinks of her. And that has just evolved into pure hatred. There's no love left. It makes him such a shell of a man. I think that's just a perfect way to encapsulise Hiroshi as a character. And it was perfectly evident as well when he went to try and kill his daughter. The one person that could closely remind him of the person he lost. The person that he could actually have a good connection with. And just decides to kill her. And that's the perfect example that all the love in him has completely gone. Honestly, he is such a good villain alongside Amon, and just how different they are as well. Both of their motivation. Amon came from an abusive household where his father shaped him into a weapon of revenge and took away his childhood completely. While Hiroshi is just someone so devoid of love that all that is left in him is pure hatred and rage. It makes me so excited to see what other villains come out of this show, because these two were incredible. But yeah, looking at Asami, I think I'm definitely loving her character so much more now. This season has done so much with her in such a short amount of time because she was introduced rather late. Just her conflict with her father was great, and I love how she's crying when she does have to take him down. He's trying to run for it and trying to escape, and she bolas him and electrocutes him. She's realizing that this man is no longer her father and that he is a shell. It is not the same person that raised her, and that is what ultimately allows her to go against him like this. And it also makes me more excited for her journey in whatever comes next. What is going to be her motivation through things? She's going to be with the group, but Mako is now not her boyfriend, and I guess she needs to grow her relationship with Bolin. That's something I'm hoping for. Here, kinda, because they're on a mission together, but they could do a little bit more, which I'm hopeful for. Because her connection with them is very strenuous, but she is a great written character for the story. So I'm very looking forward to see what they do with her next. Then just thinking of the writing and structure of the show, I am happy, of course, that I think there are a few faults here and there, but that would be very similar to Avatar Season 1. The Great Divide comes to mind. There's definitely faults within both shows. I think for me, major one might be, I guess, there's an odd balance between lack of consequences and permanence of consequences. Aman and Tarlok dead, that seems very permanent, very dark. Yet they're also allowing bending to come back permanently. So that thing wasn't even permanent to begin with. It seems like it's a weird mix there where all the villains get the permanent endings, yet all the heroes go unscathed, no scars left, nothing to remind them of this battle. I mean, it's fine because, of course, this was a kids' show. This was aired to kids like Avatar did. But I think Avatar did have a good balance between permanence and impermanence with a kids' show. Because, of course, you had very graphic, violent scenes like Azula lightning Aang. But, of course, they never killed Ozai. They mentioned it, they talked about it, but they never actually did it. So you have both having consequences, and they're both impermanent sort of ish. And they're semi-permanent. Ozai being locked up, Aang and Zuko always being scarred, that sort of thing. Here, you have, it's two different extremes. The villains get the permanent endings, while Korra doesn't really get affected. If anything, she gains from this. And then all the city also get all their bending back. I think that's a balance I hope gets explored in later seasons. Maybe there is something more that sticks with her. Maybe there is like a scar or something that can stay with her. Just to better balance out that the villains do have a lasting impact on the heroes. Because I think right now, there isn't. From this ending, Aman accomplished nothing. With Avatar, Azula had lasting impacts on everyone. I think you had Commander Zhao, who did die, but that's because he refused to be saved by Zuko. So I think, hopefully, with more seasons, this does strike a better balance. But right now, I do think it's a little skewed in these directions. Heroes, they didn't really lose anything from this at all. Where the villains, overwhelmingly so. But yeah, other than that, love the cinematography, the scores from this, amazing. The art style I am loving so much with just how they're bringing the painting and all of this into it and how they make everything look so grand and detailed. I'm so hopeful that we get to go to other nations as well, just to see what they're like, because this season did incredible with the Republic City. So I hope that with more seasons they get to explore other places and other areas. I would love to see the Fire Nation. We got to see bits of the Water Nation, but again, I want to see the Northern Water Tribe. I want to see it all, the Earth Kingdom. What is it all like now? And with the style that this has gone with, I think they're going to look amazing if they do. Yeah, character development and story, all I think have done very well. Balancing both a giant plot with the city and this very much world impactful event with Korra's journey was done very well, although very condensed compared to Aang, of course, because you kind of have to compare them. It's not like you can't, because of course Aang had plenty more time to do all of this stuff, and that journey had so much more time. And I think this did a good job at being able to condense Korra's story in a giant world impactful event. But of course, one's always going to look better than the other simply because it had more time. If Korra had more time, I'm sure it would have been better, and maybe stakes would have been raised, maybe more detail would have been put into consequences and all this. But I think it did a good job for having 12 episodes. As for what's next, I am so excited. I cannot wait to just start season 2. After this, I'm so excited for whatever villains they bring in, for Korra's journey, what on earth the story will be. Will it be bigger or smaller than this? Because like the villain had such a deep connection to Republic City. What other bones and skeletons are buried in this city that they could explore next season? Like, where do the characters go? What are they going to do with Mako and Bolin? Now you've got the relationship. What are you going to do with Asami? Now that Korra is the Avatar, I feel like that sets up so much more. I would love it if we get to see like an opposites for her and Aang, where she overly uses the Avatar state because she gets riled up very easily. I think she'll be able to go into it super easily. Any person she fights, if they tease her or something, she's going to get riled up and then she's going to glow. Whereas Aang, it took a lot for him to go glowy. So I'd love to see Korra actually have to learn to not use it as much. I think that would be really interesting. But I also want far more of the world to be explored. And I think this opens up so much more now. You've done Republic City, go to other places. Explore Korra's character in these places. Have her fully become the Avatar with mastering everything. She still hasn't mastered airbending yet. She's just been able to use it. It's not mastered. I think that her story is still very much wide open to do a lot with, and I cannot wait to see what they do with it. But yeah, overall, this episode and this season have been really great. Of course, when you look at Avatar, it does seem weaker in comparison, but that is because Avatar had so much more it got to do. It had like longer seasons. This was 12 episodes, and I think they did a very good job at doing all this in 12 episodes. Korra's journey was done very well, and I think it does make sense that she doesn't learn to always like become Aang, basically. I was almost expecting that. But of course, she's a very different person. Essentially, like if Toph, I guess, kind of became the Avatar, the impatience, the wanting to fight, that sort of thing. It sets up so many different problems. They're almost trying to fix it into an Aang way. That's never going to work. So I'm looking forward to see how she gets with the Avatar state being who she is, and I think the world building was also done very well for this season, introducing us to a new age of the Avatar world and introducing new conflicts and the history that's been going on. I really enjoyed this season and I cannot wait for season 2, but with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that I will see you in the next one for season 2 episode 1. See ya!